Hi, it's Tori. Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a quick everyday makeup routine, something very simple, quick and easy, on the go, out the door. If you're interested, please keep on watching. The first product to start the morning off right away is this right here, and it's by the brand Saborino BCL, their morning sheet mask. This helps decrease puffiness with the key ingredients in it. It has apple fruit acid, it has peppermint extract in it, it even has some tea tree oil. So you feel the cooling sensation on your skin, which is great for the morning. The best part about it is it only takes 60 seconds to leave on your skin and you are good to go and you could start applying makeup. So it comes with 30 of them. I purchased this off of MASKSheets.com, which is a great website because they have so many options of different sheet masks from all over. They have a lot of cool sales that they always do. They'll do $1 sheet masks, $2 sheet masks, or anything above that. You can find your typical brands too that you might find in Sephora or Ulta, anything like that, but you find a lot of cool brands that you've never heard of. You get to read all about them. They make two versions of this. This is a fruit and herbal one, and they also make a minty one, and it's a light green packaging. I even seen you could get these at Walmart, Amazon. You can open it. It's kind of like baby wipes packaging, and you take your one mask right here. This is it right here, and it's ready to go. I'm going to put my hair back. In the meantime of doing this, you could brush your teeth if you're able to, make your coffee, get your outfit ready. Maybe you have to steam something, iron, walk the dog, anything like that. Because like I said, you only need 60 seconds. I mean, this is really perfect for anyone. All right, so we're going to take this off now. So it's been about a minute. You could do it a little bit longer if you like. With the excess serum, I just like to press it in a little more just to get that. I'll even do my neck lightly. Another good thing with all my sheet masks I do, when they come individually wrapped, I'll save that little serum and maybe use it that night, or, you know, close it tightly, use it the following day, just so I get every good benefit from it. Okay, so right after the mask is off, we have clean, fresh hands. The next thing I'll do is go in with my serum. I use a lot of different serums, but I'm just going to mention a few just so you can maybe look into them yourself, see what might work for you. The first one is by Dr. JART. It's the Ceramidin liquid one. I mentioned this in my first video, actually. It's labeled as moisturizing toner. It's very lightweight. The main ingredient is ceramides, of course, which help release moisture throughout the day. This right here is one option to go for. If I'm feeling extra dry, I really love the Lush serum they make. Lush has such cool products. I want to do a whole video about a whole bunch of different Lush products, but this one here is called Full of Grace Serum. So yes, it's in a solid form, however it is a serum. This has a lot of great ingredients and benefits to it. It has tropical butters in it, it has chamomile, it has rose petals, portobello mushrooms. Portobello mushrooms are a great ingredient to have in your skincare. It sounds crazy, but they're really antioxidant rich. They have vitamin B, they have vitamin C, and that helps protect our skin and maintains the vitality and the glow within, which I always love that. And this has calamine powder in it. I think that's what was in, you know, when you used to have mosquito bites and the calamine lotion. My mom always used to use that on us. And it was that pink lotion. It would help relieve, you know, dryness, itchiness, anything like that. They'll actually boil roses, and that's the infusion that they'll use to put in here. Those are just two serums that I wanted to mention. For now, I'm going to go in with my Dr. JART Ceramidin. This is the consistency of it. It's very lightweight, like I said. I'll just go ahead, make sure your hands are clean. So important. And I just press that into my skin. I really like to press it into my forehead. I'll even go in upwards with my neck. Everything I always do upwards. I don't like to drag anything down. I use different eye creams depending on the day. This right now is the Origins one. It's refreshing eye cream, brightening and depuff. So the main ingredient is GinZing in here, which is very refreshing and supposed to help with any depuffiness like that. So we'll go ahead in with this one. I like to just use my ring finger. Ring finger, you know, it's the lightest finger of them all. So I will just go ahead here, tap underneath, and I even go over my eyelid as well. I mean, I'm dry. Next, we're going to go in with a moisturizer. Right now, I'm using my Dr. JART Ceramidin Cream. Again, up like strokes. This product here depends on how my skin is for that day or that week. This is the DERMA E Scar Gel. I've also mentioned this in my previous video. This is a gel to apply on any pimple scars, acne scars, cellulite, stretch marks, anything like that. It really does help with. So you can go ahead and put that on before makeup. I even put it on after makeup. Right now I do have one little scar, so we'll go ahead. I'll just go ahead and tap that on there and give it a second to just absorb. Depending on the day, I might not want to put on any tinted moisturizer or anything like that, so I will go ahead and use the Coola. This is something I mentioned before. These are all just my favorite products, so I use them literally every day. It makes me look nice and healthy. It gives it a light glow, so that's when I'll go ahead and use this. We want to do something light, but we definitely want to target the under eye. This is definitely one of my favorites. It's by the brand Tarte. It's a CC under eye correcting, coloring correcting. That's what the CC stands for. So it really does target the discoloration in your skin. The color I have is light to medium. It's in a little pan. I find to use my hands is the best versus using a brush or a beauty blender. The warmth of my skin helps it really seep in versus using a brush just for this type of consistency. This is another option. It's by the brand BECCA. It's the Under Eye Brightening Corrector. This definitely is a lot more brightening, pinkish tones. You might want to use a little concealer just to help even it out because it might look too white or too bright. But this is the consistency for that. This, again, it's very similar to that Tarte one. I will use my finger. The brush, I feel like I've tried it, you know, with a brush, a beauty blender, and I actually hated it at first, but I like to use my fingertip to get it warm and it just really seeps into the skin. I'm really all about that under eye brightening, so this is another option. I have two of them. This is by the brand IREDALE. You can purchase it at Nordstrom, other makeup sites as well. I know it's not available at Sephora or Ulta. So right here, this, I use my fingertip as well. So it's nice to be like quick on the go as long as your hands are clean. This is right here. It's called the Concealer Enlighten 1. I think they have different shades. The one I love is the Enlighten 1. It works for me, and it's really brightening under the eye. So for today, I'm going to go with my Tarte CC Corrector. I'm just going to, a little does go a long way, so I like to just dab it right here. I look up because I feel like I'm getting closer there. And I feel like it's really melting in with the temperature of my finger. And just for the sake of the video, we'll go in with a little bit of the BECCA one as well. I'll even go on the eyelid. So if you feel that it looks a little too white for you or too bright under eye, you could go in with a normal concealer. I have a lot of different concealers that I like to use depending on my mood, anything like that. But for today, we're going to go with the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I am in the color Medium Custard. For this concealer, I'm going to use the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush. Very easy. I mean, it just blends everything away so quickly. And I will go on my eyelids as well. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. Right when I am done pressing everything in, make sure there's no creases on my eyelids as well. I will go in with the translucent powder. Right now I'm using the Laura Mercier one. I just haven't purchased a new one in a while, but I do feel like there's better ones out there that are a little more lightweight. So what the translucent powder does is help eliminate any creases that are going to happen throughout the day. I'm not a huge powder person. I don't powder my whole face just because I am not that oily. I don't want to have any dryness to my skin. So I like to use something, you could use an eyeshadow brush. This right here, I like to use a lot. It's a Tarte brush. There's no name on it, but I just like the shape of it, how it just can press everything in. So once again, we will make sure that no creases are here. Make sure everything is good to go. I will just tap it in here, and I will shake off a lot. Tap it all out and press into my skin. So now our eyes are even primed. If you even wanted to do a little eyeshadow quickly, you can go ahead and do that without worrying about any creasiness throughout the day. Next, I will go in with the face oil. My go-to oil is by DERMA E. It is the Radiant Glow Face Oil. It has jojoba, argan oil, sea buckthorn oil. All of those ingredients combined help smooth out the lines in your face, gives you a nice glow and radiance. Another option is by Mario Badescu. This is his Rose Hip Nourishing Oil. Very lightweight, definitely thinner than this argan oil, the DERMA E argan oil. For now, I'm going to use my DERMA E. A little goes such a long way. then I will go in with my Charlotte Tilbury-Hollywood Flawless Filter. I really like a nice glow, so I will just go in with as much glow products as possible. I will go in with a duo fiber brush. This is by Sigma F50, and I will just go ahead and mix that all together. I'm going to be looking extra glowy because I added that argan oil radiance drop. I don't go under my eye as much just because I already set them. You could do this before and then set it, whatever you prefer. So now we have Dewy Fresh Skin, which is my absolute favorite. I'm going to go ahead and just fill in my eyebrows. I have a lot of different brow products. Of course, I use the Anastasia. I've tried the Benefit ones, all the different ones that they came out with. My absolute favorite pencil over any of the other ones I've just mentioned or have is by NYX. And this one is their Precision Brow Pencil. So it's the one with the nice pointed tip. And matter of fact, the tip is going to have the shade that you choose. I am in the shade Espresso. So how I do my brows personally for every day, I brush all the hairs down. Thin and it has a nice precision tip, hence the name. Once you have all the hairs down, I start right here. I'm going to just fill in any sparseness, and I'm following my line. I'm not adding on extra, so I see that this is my natural brow hair, and I'm going to follow that. I'm just, of course, adding in. I'm keeping my shape as is. There we go. So here we go, we have a line. Now I will go ahead and brush everything up. Make sure it's nice and brushed. And same thing. It's kind of like filling in the blanks. And I will go ahead and do the same here. Start from here and follow the line on my brow. Right here looks a little empty. I'm just going to add in very little. And that's it. So now that we have our brow, we're going to brush everything back up. You always want to have your brows brushed up. It looks crazy if they're in all different directions, shooting down. And now that it's all brushed up, we could really see what it's looking like, and we could go ahead and just fill in the middle. I want to just make this look a little more even. It looks a little too thin for me. And I'm going lightly. And then with the front, I want to keep brushing it out, and stop. And with the front, I will keep brushing it out. And we're going to just draw a light line and flick those lightly up. If your brows ever look dark, just keep brushing through them. It will eventually fade. That's my go-to everyday brow, glam brow, whatever it is. So once again, brush down, start from the beginning, follow that line, brush up, and do the same thing that you did with the top to the bottom. Light strokes. So you want to mimic your hairs in whatever direction they're going. Now I twisted my brush. So before it was on the side, now I'm twisting it vertical and just doing one light stroke up and just flicking them very lightly, just like that. And I'm brushing it to get it a little more natural looking. I'm going to go in with some bronzer, but beforehand, we have a whole bunch of liquids on our face, so if we're going to go in with a powdered bronzer, smearing that in is just going to look a little blotchy, so we're going to use a little bit of the translucent powder that I've used before under my eyes. And like I said, I like very little, so I will dip it in. I will tap almost everything off. I want to keep the glow, so I'm just going in very lightly. So at least when I use the bronzer, it's not going to be hard to blend. It won't look blotchy. I still have the glow going here. I always use different bronzers. Right now I have the MAC Give Me Sun, which I love. Very warm shade. I have the Too Faced Dark Chocolate Soleil. This is the deepest one they have. For now I'm going to go in with MAC Give Me Sun. I'm actually using a powder blush brush for this. I'm going to swirl it around, tap off. Whether you like eyeshadow or not, this is something quick that anyone can do that'll add a little more depth, dimension, a little contour to your eye. You could just use your bronzer. You could take an eyeshadow brush. Your eyes are already set because we did the translucent powder before. The last thing you want to do is go in with a powder once you have a creamy consistency, because then it'll just be a smeary, hot mess. So we already set it with the translucent powder, so we can go ahead and use our bronzer as a little eyeshadow. Swirl it around in here. Off. I am actually using a Sigma blending brush E25. I am going in windshield wiper motions So I'm just going back and forth, but then you could also do light circles as long as you're going back and forth with it. It gives the eyes a little more contour, a little depth into it. We're gonna do the same thing with this. Blush is something I might not do every day, but for today we're gonna use it. This right here is very handy. It's by the brand Vera. It's the Color Switch Duo. Ulta now makes their own version of it. Sephora has their own brand of it. These sponges you could purchase on its own. It kind of feels like that sock bun material, but the purpose of it is my bronzer brush that I used before. This is that Sigma powder blush. Once I switch it around in here, all of that coloring from the bronzer, anything, it's going to come off. It's not going to clean it as in sanitizing and getting all of the bacteria away, but it's taken the color off. If you have black eyeshadow and it's your favorite blending brush and you want to use that same brush but use a different color, that black will not appear once you use this. This blush is awesome. It's really pigmented. This is the only one I own from it by Notes. I like to go up into my temples, even a little bit of my nose. If you want to be simple and do something, stick to liquids, maybe powders are a little too drying. It's a Lola tint and it's by the brand Benefit. It's really lightweight. It has this application. There's different colors. This one is a nice little rosy lavenderish pink to it. I love to have a glowy everyday look. That's just what I always tend to go for. So some of my favorite glow products are Strobe Cream by MAC. I'm going to go in with the gold light one right here. I have it on my finger. And I go at the high points. Wherever there's light that's hitting my cheeks, that's where I will just go ahead and apply that. Another great product that I like to use every day they're called Dewy Stix. This one right here is by the brand Ciate London. You can purchase this at Sephora and you just twist it. It's clear, it doesn't give you sparkles, no glitter. It gives you a nice dewy, fresh, wet, youthful look. So this right here, I think it's $24 or $26. This is by the brands Cosmetics. I purchased mine at Ulta. This was for $8.99. So this is their version of a dewy stick. And I just go in with the actual applicator myself. I'll go in over here. My eyelashes are very straight. They're not that long, so I try not to use mascara every day just because I feel like I want to try and preserve them as much as possible. But today we will. So for me, it's very important because I don't have long eyelashes. They don't curl. They're very straight. It's by the brand Shiseido. So what works best for me is this one right here. It's by Maybelline. It's the Colossal Big Shot. Okay, right when I'm done with the upper ones, I will just go in with my bottom lashes. I also like the L'Oreal telescopic one for my bottom lashes. It's like a very thin comb, so it's nice to get over here, just so you don't get any mascara underneath your eye. So at this point, you could put on your favorite setting spray, anything like that to keep it in place. I like the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. If your makeup kind of slides around too much, you can go ahead and set your face. For me, every day, what works on my skin is by Badescu. It's their facial spray, rose water. It has aloe, different herbs in it. So I'll go ahead right now and put that on. So depending on my mood, either I like to wear lipsticks, I like to do glosses, so it really depends on my day, how I'm feeling, but I'll show you some of my favorite neutral lip products. This one's by Fenty Beauty, which is by Rihanna. It is her gloss bomb. It comes in 2 different colors now. This is the original one, Fenty Glow. It's a nude. It's made to go with every skin tone out there. This will look awesome. It's very neutral, glowy, and it has the slightest gold reflex in it that make your lips look so juicy and plump. What it looks like. I actually ran out of the bigger version of this, but this is by the brand NYX. It's called their Butter Glosses. They are so creamy and glossy. They feel really comfortable on the lips. This one is Creme Brulee. It's like a light whitish pink to it. These are really awful swatches. If you want something that's going to stay a little bit longer, the brand Tarte, they make Tarteist lip paints. They have a variety of different colors. This one works good with my skin tone, my undertones, everything like that. It's called Rosé. And of course, I misplaced one of my favorites by the brand Buxom. It's the color is White Russian. I know it's like a cult favorite for many people. It's that nudish, whitish pink. The Buxom glosses are very glossy. They feel so nice on the lips. It gives it a nice tingling, not in an overwhelming where you feel your lips are going to burn off, just a light, refreshing, tingling sensation. This is another favorite of mine. This one is called Mudslide. I feel like it's my natural lip color, a little more color and juiciness to it. So this is the final look right here. It's very simple, easygoing, nice glowy, healthy look to the skin. You can modify in any way, maybe use a little more or less glowy products if you're not a fan, or maybe if your skin is a little more oily. You could even go in a little more with the translucent powder to make it really work for you. Hopefully you learned something today and you can incorporate it into your everyday routine. Thanks for watching. Bye.